What if I told you that you can have your specific person back because they always wanted you? It doesn't matter if they are not in contact with you or how situations have been, whether they are giving you any sort of commitment or not, because they always change. It happened to a woman whose life flipped completely. She went from psychic debt and endless spells and heartbreak to her dream man confessing she is his only one. These exact steps can work for you too. Recently, I read this success story that hooked me. It had every key ingredient for manifesting a specific person through real persistence and Neville Goddard's core truths. I can't stop myself from sharing it. I don't know her real name, shout out to the one who wrote it. I'm rewriting it from the first person perspective in short form. This will definitely supercharge your manifesting journey for your specific person. So it started right after my terrible breakup from a long-term relationship. I met this guy. He was everything I ever wanted. He ticked every box. Actually, I manifested him from the start. Even while ending my old relationship, I imagined us together. I just knew he was into me. He was crazy about me. He mirrored my perfect scenes exactly. But then my insecurities hit hard. He was moving to a new city, and paranoia took over. No matter what he said to reassure me, I assumed it was the end of us. I manifested fights and distance between us. Heartbroken, he finally said he couldn't carry on. He told me there was too much going on in his life right now, and maybe we would cross paths later. If I were him, I would have left too, because of my mental spiral. We had only dated for a few months, but I had claimed him as my future husband from day one. Devastated, I refused to let go. Embarrassed to admit it, I went into full desperation mode. I was doing 10 to 15 psychic readings a day. Loans piled up and debt kept growing. TikTok spells, mantras, scripting. I tried everything. 4 months of pure chaos and nothing worked. Psychics promised dates that came and went. I cringed at myself. I was completely drained. But deep down, I knew he would come back. They always do. I never lose. Stubborn as hell, I kept hoping. I started testing small wins like manifesting avocados in my fridge or getting an exact pay raise just to rebuild my faith. In January, I found Neville Goddard communities. I binged YouTube videos and watched everything, but didn't apply any of it. By the end of February, coaching gave me affirmations. I affirmed all day and things shifted slightly. On April 1st, we met at work after the breakup. He flirted, complimented, and sought my attention. Hope surged, but then came silence. I spiraled. I gave up over and over. I kept wondering why others succeeded, but not me. Still, I pushed through and kept affirming daily, even when I felt like crap. Then in May and June, something funny happened. A new guy came into my life and started saying all the exact words I had wanted my specific person to say. He called me an amazing wife and told me I was stunning and irreplaceable. It frustrated me so much because he was a great guy, but he wasn't my specific person. I decided to test the law on him on purpose. I started thinking he wasn't interested in me, that something was missing. Sure enough, a week later, he ghosted me for a day. When I texted him, he replied that he felt sad about it ending because he had high hopes for us. That was my proof. My thoughts really do create my reality. But it still wasn't enough when it came to my specific person. I could feel the love for him becoming more natural inside me, yet it always felt like it would happen sometime in the future. In July, I got really drunk one night, but I felt completely fearless. I'd been thinking about texting my specific person for weeks, and I finally did it from a place of confidence, not neediness. Late at night, I sent him a message that said, "I miss you." I was so drunk I forgot I'd even sent it. The next morning, I woke up to his reply, "I miss you too." Our conversation flowed for hours. He replied instantly every time. He said he got drunk too. He told me I deserved the world and that he could never give me that. He said he loved everything we had and that it was hard to let go. I got annoyed and said, "Pretend it never happened then," but he turned it around immediately. He said he didn't want to pretend, that he missed me too, but he was scared we'd get hurt because of the distance. He even suggested meeting next time he came to town to talk in person. Then his message just sat undelivered for 2 full weeks. That sent me into a hellish spiral of doubt. I didn't stop affirming for even one day. Finally, I cried it all out for the first time since the breakup. I looked in the mirror and screamed, letting everything out. Then I went back to Neville's book, Feeling is the Secret. That's when it truly clicked for me. I realized I needed to change myself, not him. Before, I had been affirming about the desire, trying to get him back, but now I started affirming from the desire as if I was already his girlfriend. I began living in the perfect relationship every single day. It felt completely natural. That night, I had a Sats dream where he kissed my neck from behind and whispered, "Won't let you go again." It felt so incredibly real. His message was still undelivered, but in my mind, we were already a year in, cherished and obsessed with each other. Then he texted back, word for word, my affirmations: proud of you, stunning, only woman I want, distance doesn't matter, unmatched connection. We met, I did it, time had been my only block. I could have had it all along by becoming the version of me who already had him. So here it is, the real gold from this story. I'm breaking it down in detail and tying every technique directly to what she went through. You'll see exactly how it applies to your SP journey. This isn't generic advice, it's pulled straight from her Mess to Miracle arc. She wasted months on the wrong actions, but she flipped it in weeks once Neville clicked. You can too. Let's dive deep. First came dropping the old story, her psychic debt trap and total ownership. The first massive shift happened when she completely killed the old story. Her journey screams this lesson. Remember those 4 months of desperation, 10 to 15 psychic readings a day, loans piling up, TikTok spells, mantras, scripting? She cringed at it later. It kept her stuck in the victim state. He left because of distance. Psychics said no hope. That was just the old story, replaying pain and making it worse. She told her friends and hinted at it in embarrassment, but they moved on. Only she stayed stuck, looping it in her mind. Just like how your insecurities can manifest fights before a breakup, her paranoia about his move to another city created the exact ending she feared. Neville's truth is simple. You manifest everything, even breakups. She finally owned it 100% and admitted, my thoughts did this, not him. No more he did me wrong rants. When old scenes came up, the ghosting, the psychic fails, she affirmed, not my truth, the past is gone. That freed her. Your old story, no matter the blocks, third parties, or silence, doesn't serve you. If you need to tell a friend once, do it, then drop it. Focus grows what you feed. When you replay hurtful texts, pause and say, that is not who I am now. He chooses me deeply. Her ownership turned stubborn hope into power. She knew they all come back. She had created returns before. Second, mental diet mastery, the new guy mirror, and the drunk text pivot. Her mental diet was the game changer during the May and June frustration. It proved that thoughts create instantly. That new guy wasn't random. He mirrored her SB affirmations word for word. Amazing wife, stunning, irreplaceable. A frustrating mirror. She tested it deliberately, assumed he wasn't interested, and boom, he ghosted a day later. Then came the sad confession. Proof. Her thoughts really did create her reality, but with her specific person, it still felt like it was in the future. That was the trap of thinking of the desire instead of from it. Her mental diet flipped everything. She caught spirals like the one after the April flirt stopped. The why others win, not me thought. She felt awful, cried, and let it out. That's normal. You are God in human form, not a robot. She breathed deeply and pivoted. He misses me now. We are unbreakable. No more spending hours or days in negativity. Instead, she focused on inner conversations. Distance or not, he adores me daily. At first, it was hard, like the early days after coaching, but repetition made it easier. By July, when she sent that drunk text, she was fearless because her mental diet had built confidence, not neediness. I miss you came from the end state, not from begging. His instant miss you too and pouring regret were the fruits of her new mindset. Then came the 2 weeks of delivered hell. She spiraled again, but persisted. He is shifting behind the scenes. Needy thoughts block the SP state, and desperation comes from thinking of the desire. Dominant thoughts shift through repetition, moving from the wish fulfilled. Logic screams, no texts, ignore, move on. But manifestation doesn't follow logic. Her mental diet rewired her completely. The new guy's frustration built her faith, and the drunk text pivot sparked her flow. When the thought crossed her mind that he was gone forever, she paused, breathed, and affirmed, "He wakes up obsessed with me." She persisted until it felt completely natural, and that persistence hardened into the drunk text magic. The third breakthrough came with affirmations combined with sats. After her coaching failures, the feeling is the secret click finally happened. Her affirmations were no longer mindless. Following the February coaching flop, she personalized them. Because the long lists had felt exhausting and too focused on externals, she chose the ones that truly resonated. Distance can't stop us. I am his only. He repeated them all day until they felt real, testing small wins along the way, like finding avocados in her fridge or receiving an exact pay raise. Early disbelief was normal. The results unfolded naturally. Sats sealed it. She couldn't do it before, but after that mirror cry and release, she finally could. She fell asleep as his girlfriend. The vivid dream came, a neck kiss. His whisper, "Won't let you go again." It imprinted her subconscious. This was all tied to her story. In April, he flirted when they met, then stopped, which prompted her to shift into a full chase. The new guy mirrored her affirmation, so she focused even harder on affirming her SP version. The drunk text sparked his regrets, and Sats carried her straight into his confessions. Even while the message stayed undelivered, she lived as if a year had already passed. Cherished and secure, she replayed reunion scenes over and over in her mind. Then it all unfolded exactly as her affirmations had promised. She felt proud, stunning, and the only one he wanted, with distance no longer a factor. Repetition had impressed it deeply, and in that space, time seemed to dissolve. She focused on the personal. Her SP let go of fears for her, and she felt it fully in Sats, sleeping while looping the end scenes in her mind. This wasn't about getting him, it was about living in the reality that they were perfect now. Only the impressions she made internally truly worked. She revised the lows, transforming breakup texts into forever love. She persisted for 18 to 30 days, and her subconscious delivered. The fourth breakthrough was realizing she needed to change herself, not her SP, the ultimate click and source of persistence power. The core revelation came straight from Neville. There is no one to change but yourself. It hit her after the mirror cry and scream, and a reread of Feeling is the Secret. She realized she had been affirming of the desire, trying to get him back instead of from the desire, living as if they were already together. The new guy mirror had proven the point. Her assumptions created his echo. With her SP, time had been the block and future feelings had been delayed. By living from the end, she dissolved that block. She understood she could have him any time by becoming the version of herself who already had him. Her persistence shone through. She didn't stop daily, even during spirals, give-ups, and doubts, wondering why others succeeded while she struggled. April had crushed her hope, June brought frustration, and July felt like hell. In 3D, she faced rejection and silence, but she learned that silence often signals movement behind the scenes. Small tests built her faith in God's power. An exact pay rise, a free session, subtle shifts she could see. Her inner scenes even shifted his fears about his city. Millions moved, just as Neville said, and the 3D world eventually conformed, word for word, to her reality. Don't chase your SP. Evolve yourself. Life will send mirrors, new people and situations to test your power. Use them. Persist even when there's no visible movement, reminding yourself, he is thinking of me constantly. Let yourself cry and release the emotions. Go back and reread Neville. Live as cherished now. The confidence you felt during the drunk text moment still exists within you. Imagination is God, and the 3D world only mirrors your inner state. You always have a choice to see the silence as proof of nothing happening or as the space where your beautiful reality is already unfolding. She had wasted time on psychics and external fixes, but she won through inner work. Her mental diet, affirmations, and sats built the new version of herself, the one already with her SP. Your turnaround is already scripted. Act it. I hope this video enlightened you in some way. I will meet you with another video soon. Happy manifesting.